That's true. No, thank you guys.
All right, let's move on to Sierra here with her planning commission annual report.
Let's see here. Is there a good place for me to plug in? Or?
Let me do the annual report. And
Oh, yeah,
just
no,
come up here.
Yeah.
So I did
Okay, you're
send.
backwards.
Yeah, I
We're
did
gonna
send
go
the.
with He's going to that area.
I sent the annual report to everybody. That's something that the state requires. I don't know if anybody had any questions on it. It's just a mandated thing. So a lot of this was just me doing the best I could to pull the information from our building and subdivision databases. There's a lot of questions they ask about gross area and existing lots. I don't have easy ways to pull that information out in terms of the gross area of building lots, and even with the when exactly lots were approved. I don't have an easy way to compare that and say when exactly a lot was created. So I just told them I can't provide that. I provided the information I could. Does anybody have any questions about that? It requires approval by the planning commission, and then we have to submit it to the county commissioners formally, but it's basically just data
Well,
collection.
good to me.
Okay,
You've done it that way in the past, so let's give out that.
I'll try.
It's good reading for like night time and everything.
Yeah.
I need a motion to pass the
I made to approve.
motion for it. Second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So moved, Jackie.
All right.
Now we go to open space. Sorry, Sierra.
Yeah.
Think back.
I'll just let her plug in here. Switch places.
How about that training course? Am I the only one that hasn't done that yet? And does Tierra send?
I'll have to send that to you. There is a training course online. That was one of the questions in here. I can't remember. I sent a link that had everybody who had done it and who had not. I can't remember.
Didn't some of them take that?
Some of you had. I sent a link out that showed who had. I don't know if anybody else needed to. I'll look at that again.
Yeah, I got it, but I couldn't get it to open up.
Okay. I'll double check and send it. We had somebody in the zoning board of appeals did it recently, and they said it wasn't too painful. It's been a long
Not
time.
too
since
bad.
So preface. So the county received funding from the projects. The allocation is based on real estate transfer tax, and I find it like lags behind the real estate market like 2 or 3 years. So we had lots of money like 2 years ago, and then slowly our allocation has just been like drifting down. I would say on average the county gets around 200,000-ish a year, but this year it's like $146,000. So we're working with less, but honestly, we've had lots of really good projects. I think we got them done, kind of taking the opportunity to catch our breath, wrap those projects up, and then also do some planning. So whenever there is money, again, we'll be like ready to go. We'll have some really great stuff to go on. So, this is a new computer to me, so I don't know.
I can say
Plugs
something
are.
that would be flooding correct.
Anyway, so I send out a request to like the people who manage the county parks, like from the Lions Clubs and our municipalities and any athletic organizations, and be like, hey, are there any requests that you guys have? I encourage them to even put on their wish list kind of items, even though like, you know, they're not going to get, you know, these big ticket projects, but it is also nice to kind of just have that in our capital improvement program, or like a grant opportunity would become available. That is, that's kind of the guidance. The Board of Education, they put in a couple projects for redoing some tennis courts, and I'm unable to do that at this time. They're the only requests we turned down. So let me see if I can share my, how to,
Administer it.
okay. All right. Oh, I see. Just like switch over. All right. And these are all state programs,
State
yeah.
money, Sierra works to help administer it and help the communities supply.
Yeah, so like in fact, yesterday I met with the town of Friendsville and the Board of Ed, because Friendsville Elementary is in the town, it is eligible for that community parks and playgrounds funding, so we didn't get
Seven hundred seventy-five acres in Allegheny County,
700.
at DNR. Did you see that? Did you hear anything about that?
I heard about it.
DNR buying 775 acres of ground in Allegheny County. Did you see about that, Jeff?
I heard about it, but I don't know where or when it is.
You hear anything about
I
that?
saw it too, but
I saw it too, but I didn't really look into
Well,
it.
something came up on my,
Some's Rocky Gap, some's down Motor County. I mean, I think there's a few chunks
I'm not
here.
just, and what, the other question I have, what's going on with the, Savage River property? Do we have any update on what? that's gonna
No,
be?
I think that that'll take some time to go through, but I think they were looking at like redesigning it, but it will be open to the public. Let me look into it and I can follow up with some timelines.
You talking about the lodge?
Yeah.
Savage River Lodge?
Yeah, so it's a DNR owned property now, and I think the
Have
plan was,
they started any improvements all down there, do you know?
They
The
have.
road and stuff? You've been down to that. I just asked that question, because I saw that. I mean, when she said about how much that DNR money's not available, but it seems to be available, and I go buy 775 acres in Allegheny County.
sometimes,
You know,
well, there's a kind of a different, there's a couple different programs, so
Oh, I
like,
understand that, yeah, open
so,
space is different.
yeah, well, like, they all come out of that real estate transfer tax, but there's like acquisition money, and then there's like program open space local side, which is what we're doing. And you can also purchase lands with this money, but I think there's enough public lands in Garrett County, or according to the last analysis I did, we seem to have enough recreation lands. And so, like, you can use them to acquire or, to like develop, so we use them for development typically to maintain our facilities. So, and also like some of those, they might be like 2022 funds that
Yeah.
they just, cause especially with like land acquisition projects, I've never seen one take less than a year. Like they just take a long time, and it feels like it's full of fits and starts, and
Right.
it's kind of the nature of the
And
project.
you got the contract on this year, now it's $3,000 more this year.
There's all of that, and then like as soon as I'm like, oh, here's my timeline, it's always extended, and it's
That's gotta be frustrating.
it makes for an interesting administrative like perspective. So
Crazy stuff, how you gotta do it.
I don't see the Savage River Lodge opening up for a few years, because there's not gonna be any state funding to have enough employees to operate it. And a private practice is gonna do it cheaper than any public practice. I see it as a waste of money, and that money could have upgraded every, park in, Western Maryland for the amount of money they spend on that. And
I probably shouldn't say anything, that would be politically
New
correct.
Jersey State Park staffs that as well, so those guys are overworked trying to maintain both places. And it just happens to be everything on the Savage River Lodge was out there like, it needs a new roof, it needs a new road, this and that needs done. That was a great exit plan on, Mayor's Knowledge.
Well, it was just fine, because it'd be different if the government's gonna come in and buy, like DNR was gonna buy some property that was in Allegheny County or Garrett County, it was, had a master plan for it, you know what I mean? But there's no plan for the 775 in Allegheny County either, you know what I mean? It's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
I don't know if in Allegheny County, the commissioners have to approve anything over 100 acres or not. In Garrett County, they do.
typically they do it. Like I remember them doing
I found
that.
an article that said that the
we need Judge
commissioners
Simon to
just
come back
last
in
week,
here. Maybe that's
visited
why you
Grand
have to hear
Forks, and then
Allegheny
it
County.
states how it's spread out. So it's like
200 acres here.
yeah,
and
100 acres here, 100 there.
Has he retired?
They,
Yeah, but he
they
sits
bought
on
a
this
piece of
bench
land.
whenever.
They are,
Yeah.
that's, I have,
But to your
you know,
point, Sarah,
time,
One
but
was
they
wrong.
still come
They
back
had-
to work.
they
Well,
found
they
it
can't
on
keep their
opportunity to
bench,
buy
they
it.
Thinking
can't
about
have one after
deciding.
3
Yeah.
but they can try.
Buying raw land is one thing, but just buying somebody's business. So that's.
I'm not gonna say much. Anything else?
No, so this is, I just wanted to kind of keep you, apprised, because this is a plan that the county approves, and then we turn in the applications for each one of these projects, and then it takes a couple weeks, and then the community can use the funds. So I'm hoping to put it on the commissioner's agenda for Monday, and,
We need us to,
if you want to make a motion to recommend it, you may, and I just also wanna note, like, each one of these projects, like, I have the 7 goals that are in our land preservation, parks and recreation plan, and each one of these projects does, like, correspond to that. It's in this column here, there's numbers. Some have, like, relate to more goals than others, and they relate to, like, how we cooperate and, like, promoting, like, diverse recreational opportunities, maximizing our investments, and, like, those sort of things, so.
I don't think the planning commission has a specific role in this, we just talked
We-
about it, thought it was kind of one of those good planning things, just to let everybody know about, so we can do work on it. So the county commissioners will look at it next week, maybe.
Yep, Monday.
so we need to take,
You can if you want, or if you have any recommendations,
You need-
you
you know,
don't
you-
have to, it was
okay.
more just an informative
you
session.
wanna go ahead and make a motion to approve this report? You make a motion, Tim?
Sure.
Okay, second. Any further discussion? So moved.
Well, thank
All in
you.
favor?
Aye.
Good to go. All in, all done. Is that it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you. Have a safe 4th of July.
Have they replaced him?